This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, a Terrace resident is set to be among people voicing their opposition to Christchurch Council's Terrace Airport plan. There are signs the Christmas season is upon us, including Dunedin's Christmas tree now fully up in the Octagon. And thousands of young Dunedin traffic patrollers marched up George Street today as part of the annual Orange Parade. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Daryl Baser. Early next month, the Christchurch City Council is to hear from people opposing a planned international airport to be built in Terrace. One local resident is busy formulating his objections, which he only has 5 minutes to put to the council.
Chris Goddard has got plenty to think about leading up to his 5-minute window, where he will tell Christchurch City councillors what's wrong with plans to build an international airport in the rural settlement of Terrace. Goddard says people as far away as Cromwell will be disturbed by jet planes roaring overhead as they take off or approach for landing.
When we've drawn various flight plans and we've had to make some assumptions, the airport has not come forth with a plan yet. Our best estimate is more than 10,000 residents are going to be impacted by the noise, the fume, the lighting and the flight paths of wide-body jets landing at Terrace.
He also says unburned aviation fuel expelled during takeoffs will affect the status of organic farming in the area.
There's a lot of unburnt jet fuel when aircraft take off or come in for a land. So an aircraft can be very efficient in flight, but becomes very inefficient when it takes off and lands. The impact of the jet fuel is going to be quite catastrophic for the local vineyards, the local orchards, cherry, olive. Having jet fume potential, people aren't going to say you're organic anymore.
The council owns a majority of Christchurch Airport, which has already spent $45 million buying up land around Terrace. Goddard says he'll ask councillors to reveal the actual business case that justifies the new airport.
We understand that New Zealand needs to recover post-COVID, but we don't understand why we would need a new Greenfields airport, first one in at least 50 years, and we need it built in a paddock in Terrace.
Queenstown Lakes Mayor Jim Bolt describes the plans for a new airport at Terrace as an attack on the value of Queenstown Airport. He says it's an unwelcome intrusion into our district and is simply unfathomable and morally questionable. In Terrace, The South Today.
Heavy vehicles have now been banned from driving under Oamaru's Humber Street Bridge. This comes after a section of the street was closed last week when a car was crushed by a large truck which struck the rail overbridge and rolled onto its side. The driver of the car, a 43-year-old Oamaru man, escaped serious injury, receiving a broken nose and several abrasions. It's the third time a truck has crashed into the overbridge in the past 18 months. The streets reopened this week with new signs stating no heavy vehicles are permitted to go under the overbridge. The Christmas season is definitely upon us, with obvious signs happening all over the place. Contractors spent a couple of days in the centre of Dunedin putting up and decorating the city's Christmas tree, ready for Saturday's lighting event, which is also set to be the swan song of an event's stalwart. The signs are all around us. The Christmas season has officially begun, with Dunedin's giant tree now up in the Octagon. It marks the end of an era for a stalwart of Dunedin events.
I'm actually retiring on Christmas Eve, and I'm looking forward to that. 33 years at council.
This splendid tree isn't the first one the city's put up at this time of the year. Retiring Dunedin City Council Events Team Leader Marilyn Anderson remembers the first Octagon tree during her time.
Well, the first tree was gifted to the city in 2004. It was gifted by the Caversham Foundation, and we lit it that year for the first time.
Contractors Network Visuals spent a couple of days this week taking Dunedin's Christmas tree out of its storage container piece by piece and putting it together. In years gone by, one of the perks of Marilyn Anderson's job is flicking the switch to light the tree. However, that's a task she's now handed over.
No, it's not me this year. It's another team of event personnel who will pick up those reindeer reins.
Her introduction to events was a trial by fireworks, in a manner of speaking. She recalls working on the council's Millennium events, including 2 fireworks displays.
We had a large event in the Octagon with fireworks midnight, followed by fireworks on the harbour at 4:40 a.m. So yeah, it was huge organising, but the satisfaction was immense, and that was my entry into the events world.
The annual public lighting of the Christmas tree will be this Saturday from 6:30 p.m, with entertainment from Rainbow Rosalind and more, before the lighting of the tree takes place around 9:30 p.m. In Dunedin, the South Today. Neither wind nor rain prevented contractors from putting up Oamaru's Christmas tree for the Waitaki District Council. The tree was set up in blustery weather along Thames Street opposite the council building, with plans for a special celebration to light the tree next Tuesday. Choirs are set to sing Christmas carols at Jones Park near the site before the lighting of the tree about 9 p.m. Waitaki Mayor Gary Kershaw says it's an opportunity to shake off COVID blues and join together. The Waitaki District Council has also installed a tree up the valley in Kuro and is due to put one up in Palmerston. Dunedin's George Street was filled with school pupils dressed in day-glow colours for the annual Orange Parade. The yearly event celebrates many hours in all sorts of weather put in by school crossing guards.
It was going to take more than a little bit of light rain to stop about 800 hardy youngsters from taking part in the annual Orange Parade, a celebration of keeping school crossings safe.
These are the kids that go out there each morning, each afternoon, making sure that when other kids from the school do the crossings, they're in a safe environment. So they put out the lollipops on a daily basis, and just making sure that the motorists passing the school are aware that it's a school end of day crossing time.
The march down Dunedin's George Street is named after the high visibility fluorescent-like colours of crossing guards' vests and is organised by the Dunedin City Council and the police. Senior Sergeant Craig Dennison says about 20 schools took part in this year's parade.
Really good turnout. Considering the weather was a wee bit messy for starters, it's turning out quite nice, so I'm sure the rest of the day will be absolutely great.
The Orange Parade was followed by a free swim, hydro slide and barbecue at Moana Pool. In Dunedin, the South Today.
And still to come on the South Today, it's all about music, with rock fans looking forward to a huge gig next year, and up-and-coming stars shine at Dunedin's Country Music Awards. See you after the break.
Hi, Al Campbell Menswear. We're back in George Street on the corner of Hanover Street. Come and check out our big store. It's a big space full of bargains. Now look at these shirts. There's shirts for everybody here. Look at these merino pullovers, stacks of moleskins, literally tons of trousers. Check out these big racks of sports jackets. Beautiful.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
So come and check out Alex Campbell Menswear. We're back on George Street in the old ANZ building.
risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole Map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
For over 100 years, Presbyterian Support has been helping people in your region through all conditions, ages and stages of life. Our Enliven and Family Work services are always there when you need them. People in your community are facing unprecedented challenges and they need your help. By making a donation to your local Presbyterian Support in South Canterbury, Otago or Southland, you'll be helping us to help people where you live. Together we can make a difference. We are people helping people.
Nā mai anō, welcome back. 8 drivers have been caught going over the speed limit during a 1-hour period in Dunedin. Police carried out a speed operation on the southern motorway near Fairfield between 11 a.m. and noon yesterday, targeting northbound traffic. Acting Senior Sergeant Anthony Bond says 8 drivers were clocked between 116 km an hour and 125 km an hour. He says police will continue to ensure all motorists drive within the posted speed limits to keep the roads safe for everyone. Hard rock band Guns N' Roses set to perform in Dunedin in 12 months' time, but a piece of local artwork featuring them has already been completed. A Dunedin signwriter has finished a painting of the famous band as a work commissioned by his boss.
Dunedin artist and signwriter Ian Formston has spent 2 years off and on with airbrushes and conventional paintbrushes creating this artwork of guitarist Slash and his band Guns N' Roses.
A lot of these I did with the brush, and then I'd sort of, I think, I'm getting a bit bored of that, I'll go and I'll do Axl Rose, so I can sort of start airbrushing Axl Rose kind of thing, and then I'll go on to Stephen Adler or Izzy or Duff. You can go on to whoever you want.
The project's taken over 100 hours and was commissioned by his friend and boss Adam Cullen of Speedy Signs.
I've always been a Guns N' Roses fan since '87 when the first album came out, and I've particularly Slash, I suppose. Being a guitarist myself, and I bought a limited edition guitar based on his guitar many years ago now, and got talking with Ian, who's done the painting, and I've seen his work, and we decided it'd be a good idea to do a Guns N' Roses painting.
We found all the photos together basically and decided what we liked, and I put it together as a compilation on Photoshop, and then we sort of went from there basically.
Guns N' Roses are set to play at Dunedin's Forsyth Bar Stadium next November, with there always being a chance the band will get to see the painting.
For sure, yeah, I'd love to see it. Love to get it signed by Slash or all of them. I don't know. It'd be good.
Tickets to next year's Guns N' Roses concert went on sale yesterday, with some seats still available. In Dunedin, the South today.
Dunedin's Country Music Awards have been held recently, showcasing a host of southern talent. The evening's events featured some seasoned performers as well as some fresh local musicians. Dunedin-based rising country music star Casey Dixon taking out the overall winner category at the 2020 Country Music Awards. appearing a little overcome when she picked up the night's top prize.
I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody. Just everybody, the huge support, the CMDA committee and everything. This has been a bit of a dream for a wee while.
The evening was hosted by Dunedin radio host Damien Newell, with competitors having their performances judged by a trio of people with musical careers. From the very young to the more seasoned performers, all singing their hearts out to entertain all and sundry who turned up to the event at the Wingatui Function Centre. It should easily be said, country music was the winner on the day. In Dunedin, the South Today. And after the break on the South Today, a new attraction at a Mosgiel school is proving popular with locals, and we have a look at your weekend's weather. See you after the break.
PVC windows and doors. PVC is 90% more efficient than standard aluminium and 60% more efficient than thermally broken aluminium. It's multi-chambered, you don't get any condensation through the frame. And if you put decent glass in, you get a big difference to aluminium.
Step into Shop on Carrot and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Hi, Alec Campbell Menswear. We're back in George Street on the corner of Hanover Street. Come and check out our big store. It's a big space full of bargains. Now look at these shirts. There's shirts for everybody here. Look at these merino pullovers, stacks of moleskins, literally tons of trousers. Check out these big racks of sports jackets. Beautiful.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
So come and check out Alec Campbell Menswear. We're back on George Street in the old ANZ building.
Ah, TV, our favourite babysitter. But it can be tough keeping up with what our tamariki are watching. Luckily, the Broadcasting Standards Authority has made some smart changes to the classification labels. Ooh! Plus changes to the time of day certain rated shows will air and awesome new parental lock features, meaning your babysitter's job is safe. Find out more at safeviewing.co.nz.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر يكبر.
Thanks for staying with us. A new track for bicycles and scooters has been built at a Mosgiel school. The Elm Grove school track is proving popular both during and after school hours.
Elm Grove school pupils in Mosgiel are making good use of their new bike and scooter track. Principal Christopher McKinley says the track is proving popular after school and during weekends as well, and it encourages youngsters to lead healthy, active lives.
It's a good place to bring children to learn to ride and stuff like that, but it's also encouraging our children to ride and scoot to school because they want to bring their wheels with them.
It took 2 years of fundraising and planning before physical construction began just 2 months ago.
They actually started building the track in the week before the last holidays, so it's been, from when they started building it to now, it's been about 6 to 8 weeks.
The project, which also included buying school bikes, scooters and helmets for pupils to use, cost $100,000.
So we were very fortunate to get sizable grants from both the Otago Community Trust and from Bikes in Schools, and then our local fundraising committee for the school has raised a good amount as well, and the other fundraising support came from the Mosgiel Community Board. So between those organisations we've managed to raise all of the money necessary to put this track in.
In Mosgiel, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. A Terrace resident is said to be among people voicing their opposition to Christchurch Council's Terrace Airport plan. There are signs the Christmas season is upon us, including Dunedin's Christmas tree now fully up in Yotkin, ready to be lit. And thousands of young Dunedin traffic patrollers marched up George Street today as part of the annual Orange Parade. Time now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's Otago Day Times. We welcome the editor, Barry Stewart. Okay, Barry.
Hello, Daryl. Tender documents for the new Dunedin Hospital show a possible third hospital building on the former Cadbury car park site, so that's a new development in that whole discussion. Immigrant workers are being allowed into the country after orchardists complained there would be a shortage or not enough people, but locals are saying that fruit picking jobs, their applications for fruit picking jobs have been ignored or rejected, so a little bit of conflict there. Sports Hall of Fame in Dunedin may close because of funding issues, so that's a developing story there. And we have an interesting story about Gerald Huntley, who did not expect to live past the age of 22. He apparently was a little bit of a larrikin in his day. He is now celebrating his 102nd birthday, so find out how he did it in the paper tomorrow. And the man behind the world's first New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc gin is Dunedin-raised Peter Rawling, and Mr. Rawling has returned home, and he explains to business editor Sally Ray the recipe for his success.
A Sav gin?
Yeah.
Wow.
Gin is all the rage, apparently.
Apparently.
And on my travels, I've picked up a couple.
Good to hear.
So I just thought I'd add that.
Thanks. All that, no story about your gin,
No.
and more in tomorrow's ODT.
Yeah.
Cheers, Barry. Time now for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Beginning with the southern view, Dunedin's Christmas tree, ready to be lit Saturday night. Looking at the situation, a westerly airflow increases tomorrow ahead of another cold front due over the region on Sunday, bringing cooler southwesterlies. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, cloudy skies in Westport with 16 degrees. Greymouth is due to be 17. Heading across to the northeast, a nice day for you in Nelson, as you can expect a cloud or two and 18 degrees. Blenheim is likely to be similar on 19. In Canterbury, expect cloudy skies with 16 degrees in Kaikoura, a few clouds and 15 in Christchurch, and it'll be similar in Ashburton, and your high should be 18 degrees. To the southern towns, fresh northwesterlies and late rain for all down here. The Catalans, Lumsden and Gore should all be 16 degrees, while Balclutha should be one better on 17. Heading to the Central Lakes, plan for freshening northwesterlies and cloud increasing, 20 degrees in Wanaka, 21 in Alexandra, 19 in Queenstown, with 15 degrees and rain in Ciano. And in the northern towns, moderate northeasterlies and high cloud for Timaru and Oamaru, 19 in Timaru and 17 in Oamaru, similar inland but slightly warmer, 19 in Twizel and 20 in Omarama. In Dunedin, becoming fine tonight with gusty southwesterlies easing, an overnight low of 5. Fine tomorrow with sunny periods at first, before freshening northeasterlies and brief rain late in the evening, a high of 15 and a low of 11. Sunny periods at first on Sunday, but cloud increases and showers develop later with cooler southwesterlies, a high of 16 and a low of 8. And in Invercargill, becoming fine tonight with an overnight low of 5. Fine at first tomorrow before cloud increases and showers develop late in the day. You have a predicted high of 13 and a low of 5. Showers and fresh cool southwesterlies on Sunday. Your high should be 13 with a low of 6. And that's all from the South Today team for this Friday and in fact for the week. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Have a great evening and weekend. Ka kite anō. See you next week.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.